Hello, welcome to Strong and Slow Flow Yoga. And today we're going to have a nice, strong practice that focuses on some twisting. So a few notes about the twisting. For today's class, as we twist or go into a twisty pose, you want to try and do that from a place of length. So a nice tall spine. And when you twist, you want to try and do that from a point where you don't feel any cranking in the low back and you can still be able to breathe and expand that rib cage. Breath might be a little bit shallow in at least one of the twists, but just know that you still want to be able to breathe and expand. That being said, you may want a block or two here. I've got a block on each side for when I switch sides, but you can certainly take 2 blocks or 1 block to the top of your mat. I'm sitting on a blanket to start, and we'll probably use this in Shavasana as well. And you are free to bring any other props in to Shavasana as needed. Have got a water standing by. I hope you do too. And let's get started. So coming to a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. Sitting nice and tall. Envisioning the ears, the shoulders, and the hips in this nice alignment. Supporting that back with a nice strong front. So we want to draw up and in from the pubic bone behind the navel, belly button into the spine. We want to be mindful and keep the natural curvature of the low back as well. And then from here, hands can be on the thighs. I'm going to take my hands to the heart. And just take a moment, kind of turn inward. Is there anywhere that you could soften just a little bit more? Maybe around the hip, maybe around the shoulders, around the forehead, the eyes, maybe an unclenching of the jaw. And as we bring that awareness to the breath, could we focus on inhaling and exhaling out through the nose? And as we inhale, can we expand that rib cage? Good, and just noticing. And while we're here, taking this breath, take a moment to set your intention for this practice. What would you like to give or receive in this practice in this moment? You can also dedicate it to someone or something. Mine is gratitude. I've had a lot going on in the last week, so my gratitude is focused more around freedom of choices. I have choices, and I'm grateful for them. And then from here, we'll take those hands back down, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Reach up as high as we can go, turning the palms away. Grow taller as you press down that air with the arms. And we'll do that again. Palms turning up. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Good. From here, we're going to take a side bend to the left. As we come to the left, think about the hip, the shoulder, and the hand all being in that same alignment. Opposite hip is grounded. Keeping a nice long top arm will help you get a little bit more into that side body. Can we expand that rib cage on the breath? And then inhale, exhale. We'll come back up and reach. And we'll take that to the other side. Good. Pressing through that other side. Nice long top arm. Breathing and expanding. And when ready, good. We'll come back up and reach. Good. We're going to rotate now with the length to the left. Arms are going to come down, rolling the shoulders back. If you need, you can take that back hand on the floor or onto a block even, helping you find a little bit more length. And then maybe we can look a little bit more. Breathe and expand through the rib cage. Being mindful, we can't expand the rib cage. We might be too deep into a twist. And notice how your body will automatically go there into a deeper twist when ready. Inhale to lift. Exhale, coming back to center. Inhale, Exhale, other side. Arms gonna come down, rolling the shoulders back. Back hand can come to the floor to a block. Find your length, and then maybe find the twist. Find the breath. And when ready, inhale and lift, and exhale, coming back to center. We're going to take this into all fours now, continuing to loosen up the spine. So if you're sitting on a blanket or a pillow, you are free to use that as knee cushion. You can also fold up your mat. So I'll just kind of show here. We won't be on the knees too much, but I will just a minute. You can fold up your mat like this. This will create a double layer for you. Some people like to fold it again for a quadruple layer, just kind of giving yourself what you need. And if you're someone who has a wrist that doesn't like this hyper extension like that, you can build up the height of your wrist too. So that might be with a blanket, and might be with the folding of a blanket or folding of a mat one time or two times. And then that just gives your wrist a little bit of a lift here. It can take some of the uncomfortable pressure out. I'm going to spread my fingers nice and wide here. And I'm going to root through the knuckles of the pinky, the pointer, and the thumb. My shoulders are going to be over or slightly behind the wrists. My knees are going to be under the hips or slightly wider. My tops of the feet are down. I'm protracted in the shoulders, so I'm pushing away from the floor. Belly button is in. Cat cow. Inhale, looking forward, chest forward, pelvis tilts back. There's your extension. There's your cow. Exhale, I'm going to tuck the tail. I'm going to round the spine, looking towards the thighs. There's your spinal flexion. Into the cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Good. Now I'm going to come back to table. I'm going to take this into some side bends. And notice here on the side bends, you're trying to touch the low rib cage and the top of the hip together. Most of the time they won't actually touch. You're just moving in that direction. And as you do so, let me show you from this way. You're keeping the hips over the knees. So it's kind of this motion. Okay. We're not shifting the hip side to side. Okay. So from here, we're nice and protracted. We've got that nice long neutral table. I'm going to side bend here to my right. So I'm squeezing my right side. I'm lengthening the left side. Hips stay over the knees. And then coming back to center. And doing the same thing to the left. And center. To the right. Maybe looking back at that right foot. And center. And left. Looking to the left foot. And center. We'll take this into a child's pose. Knees can be together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. You can reach your arms long in front of you, or you can take your hands back by the ankles. You choose. If your arms are long in front of you and you desire to make this a little bit more active, walk your fingertips more forward. You can also walk your fingertips more towards the corner of the mat. That will give you a little bit of a different stretch. Breathe and expand through the rib cage. And zip up that front body. And turning to intention. Relaxing the face and then clenching the jaw. And when you're ready, hands are going to come underneath the shoulders, knowing you can come into a child's pose and stay there at any point during class for as long as you like. And likewise for the downward facing dog, which we're getting ready to go into. So taller people take a half a hand's width or 4 hands width forward. Shorter people can stay right here. Fingers are still spread wide, still rooting through the knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. I'm shifting or coming up on my toes, shifting hips back, pressing in and forward into the mat as I lift my hips and lift my knees. Good. So you might have to do a little bit of a feet adjustment here. That's okay. Just make sure that you're not too close to the hands or too far away. I'm pressing evenly into both big toe and pinky toe mounds. Heels may or may not touch the floor. Just go where you can go. Knees might need to be a little bendy. Totally okay. Shoulders are away from the ears. We're protracted here. From the shoulders, can you turn the inner elbows more towards the ceiling, creating a more stable and connected shoulder girdle. Belly button in nice and tight.
Head and neck are free. I'm going to lift and lower my heels here just for a moment. You can do that, or you can walk the dog, bending one knee, lengthening one leg. Try to keep the hips even if you're doing this one. Try to press into both feet as you transition. And then we'll settle back down. Inhale, I'm going to look forward. I'm going to bend my knees, pressing through the feet and the legs. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. I'm going to let my knees be a little bendy here. Your legs can be a little bit longer or more bendy. Just go to where you can go. And I'm just going to come to a nice little dangle. I'm going to grab opposite elbows. That creates a little bit more traction down the spine. My head and neck are free. Breathe. And gently release the elbows if you took them. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Nice long back. Hands can be to the floor, your block, your shins, or your thighs. Exhale and we'll fold. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Legs take the load as we rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath. Finding a mountain pose. Finding intention. Let's take this right into 2 sun salute A's. Big inhale and we'll reach. Exhale and we'll fold. Pressing through the feet and the legs to lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. I'm going to plant my hands and go back into a plank. Knees can be lifted or grounded here. I'm going to ground down mine and untuck my toes. And I'm going to come down halfway and I'm going to come into a high cobra. If the full upward facing dog is in your practice, feel free to go there. Just be mindful that you're pushing forward into that back bend from the feet, not pulling from the shoulders. From your back bend in the way that's best for you, find your downward facing dog. Also knowing that flowing is 100% optional, and maybe you choose to take a down dog or a child's pose instead. You can also use it as an opportunity to work on your plank. From your downward facing dog when ready, inhale, look forward, bending the knees, pressing through the feet and the legs. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Pressing through the feet and the legs to lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bend and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs, we're going to rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding the breath, mountain, intention. Last one, inhale and we'll reach. Exhale and we'll fold in. Pressing through the feet and the legs to lift and lengthen halfway. Always using the legs. They always take the load, never the back. Exhale and we'll fold. Pressing or planting the hands, step or hop back to plank. You choose take or skip a flow. So again, I'm going to take the modified one. My shoulder has almost healed, but I don't want to do too much too soon. Take a moment in your down dog. Reconnect. From down dog when you're ready. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees, pressing through the feet and the legs. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Hands to floor, block, shins or thighs. Exhale and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs, we'll rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding the breath. Finding mountain, finding intention. We're going to take this right into a sun salute B. So if you have a back issue or you're a little bit newer to flow, I'm going to encourage you to follow me with hip width apart alignment. If none of that applies to you, feel free to step the feet and legs closer together or together, okay? From here, zipping up nice and tall, I'm gonna lift my arms up. I'm gonna sit back into a chair pose. So if you're following me with hip width apart, really root down into the floor and really get that outer line of engagement, like you're trying to rip your mat apart sideways. So you should feel it from the hip all the way down into the outer heel. So hips, knees, and toes are in this alignment. If your feet and legs are zipped up together, zip them up together so much that you can create that inner line of engagement. Inhale, exhale, and we'll fold. Pressing through the feet and the legs to lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Planing the hands. Step or hop back to plank. You choose take or skip a flow. I'm going to skip this one. From the down dog, when we're ready, left leg's going to lift 3-point and we'll bend that knee. I'm going to use the right leg and right foot to bring me forward. And I'm going to step or pick up and put that left foot forward between the hands. Really get it up there. So see if you can get your toes forward of the knee here so that you're getting it up there. This is not a good place for your foot to be. So pick it up and put it up there. Good. From here, find the length. Now, some of you, if you've got sciatica or something funky going on in the hip or the low back, then you can stay here and press it, parallel railroad track. If you don't have an issue back there, good. From the right hip, you're gonna rotate out 45-ish degrees, getting a heel to heel, heel to arch, or maybe this leg comes out a little bit wider alignment. So find your length, find your feet, find the legs as we reach. High crescent or warrior one. Front knee can be bendy or lengthened, depending on the person. And the front hip's gonna come back for everyone. If you're in warrior one, can you really press back to the back edge of the heel? Be strong through that back leg, everybody. And relax the shoulders. Good. Now be mindful of what alignment you took here because you should be able to do that for the other side as well. Good. Pressing through the back leg, lengthen, activate the core, find that sense of control on your descent back down to the floor, planting the hands. Swivel up the back foot, front foot steps back, take or skip a flow. And taking a moment in your down dog, shake the head yes, shake the head no, relax the face, and then clench that jaw. Going to the other side, right leg lifts 3-point, bending that knee. Using the left leg and foot to bring you forward, step or pick up and put that right foot way forward, trying to get those toes beyond that front knee. Good. Parallel railroad track alignment or the warrior prep. Good. Pressing into the feet and the legs will rise. Good. And front hip will come back. And you might notice you need a little bit of a different alignment on one side than the other. I'm different on both sides. So you do what you can do the best you can. Return to your intention, always returning to breath, so zipping up that front body. When we're ready, good. Pressing through the back leg, lengthen, lengthen, be in control as you come back down. Planting the hand, swivel up the back foot, front foot steps back. You choose take or skip that flow. Good. Now the first twist we did when we were seated. We're getting ready to come into a more intense twist here. So from the down dog, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, pressing through the feet and the legs to walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Pressing through the feet and the legs to lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Now from this bow, we're going to sit back into a chair. So if you need to take the feet and legs closer together, do so. If you need to keep them a little bit apart, do so. I'm going to bring mine just a little bit closer together here. I'm going to sit back into a twist. Sit back into a chair. Do your chair first. Do your chair first. Good. And relaxing the shoulders. For some of you, a twist from here may not be a good idea. And if it's not a good idea, that's okay. You can hang out here and practice coming in and out of your chair. For those of you that are going to go into a twist here, maybe we can come a little bit lower with the hips. Maybe we can lengthen a little bit longer through the spine. Hands can come to prayer. We're going to twist to the right. As I twist to the right, maybe that left elbow touches the outside of the thigh. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it can open just a little bit more to that right shoulder. Mindful of the knees, if the left knee came forward, take the left hip back. Some of you will stay in prayer. Some of you are going to extend or take a half bind here. Go to where you can go. Go to your level. Breathing's a little bit more shallow here, but still breathe and expand. And we'll come back to center. Pressing up, reaching up. Exhale, take that back into your chair. So again, some of you are just going to practice coming in and out of the chair. Others are going to go into the twist to the other side with me. So maybe a little bit lower, maybe a little bit longer. Belly button is in. So we're going to take that twist to the left. Maybe that elbow touches, maybe it doesn't, but we can all open that left shoulder a little bit more. Maybe you stay in prayer. Maybe arms come long. Maybe you do have bind. Maybe that right knee needs to come back just a little bit more. Breathe. Stay with it. Stay with it. And we'll come back to center and press up and coming out of there. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain intention. Relaxing that tension through the face. Good. Let's go into a standing twist. So I'm going to start on that left leg. I want the left hip, knee, and toe to track forward. So we don't want to balance with internal and external rotation. Hip, knee, and toe track forward. I've got a spot on my screen that I'm going to take my gaze and not take my gaze off that spot. And from here, I'm just going to start with prayer, but you can take your hands and arms anywhere that is appropriate for your body. Zipping up that front body, I'm going to pick up that right toe just a little bit. For some of us, this is going to be it. If you're not too wobbly here, good. Then you can use the abs to lift higher. So don't go on to the next thing until you've mastered the first thing. This might be enough, or maybe you choose a twist to the right. Breathing. Breathing. Good. Can you grow taller through that left leg? And then we'll come back to center and we'll take that right foot down. Shake out the left leg. We're going to do that again on the other side. So right hip, knee, and toe are going to track forward. I've got my gazing point, something in front of me not moving. I'm zipping up through that front body. Good. I'm going to use my abs to lift up my left toes. Just doing a check, making sure I'm okay there. Good. If you're okay, good. You can go on. Abs are doing the lifting. And when ready, good. You can open up towards that left. Breathing. Breathing. Maybe growing taller through that right leg. And then gently coming back to center and coming back down. Shaking out the right leg. From here, we're going to take this right into a step back. So we're going to step back into a warrior two. And I am going to go ahead and have this block handy, just kind of in front here, just in case I need it. So I'm going to step back with my right leg into that high crescent lunge. Good. So kind of get your footing where it needs to be. Do you need that back leg out wider? Is it okay to be more narrow? And then I'm going to lengthen that front leg. Warrior prep from the hip. I'm 45-ish degrees. Good. Front hip's going to come back now. I can put a little bend in that knee. Good. Trying to keep my hips where they are, taking the chest out to the side. I felt something kind of shift, so I'm going to take my tailbone down just a little bit. Maybe your tailbone needs to be a little bit heavier. My front knee's going to track towards the pinky toe. Breathing. Good. From here, when we're ready, We're going to take that, kind of a cartwheel down, swivel up that back foot, find the length. So I want to find a really good length. So I'm just going to bring this block in here for me. Finding that length. Good. Now, the block helps me find a place of length from ease. Good. When you're ready, you can keep the back knee lifted. That's going to give you more power, a little bit more balance, a little bit more challenge, or you can lower it. The right hand can come to a block or to the floor. I'm going to use a block today. And then I'm going to find my length and I'm going to twist to the left. Reaching. Maybe looking up, maybe looking straight ahead. Take your gaze where your head and your neck need it to go. Good. Inhale, exhale. I'm going to take that hand down. I'm going to take that block forward, planting the hand, front foot steps back, take or skip a flow. Again, I'm going to drop my knees here. Good. Finding a modified cobra, and then finding my downward facing dog. Breathing, returning to that beautiful intention. When you're ready for the down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knee, pressing with the feet and the legs. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Pressing through the feet and the legs to lift and lengthen halfway. Hands to block, floor, shins or thighs. And exhale and we'll fold. Pressing through the feet and the legs, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do that all to the other side now. So having that block at the ready, I'm going to step back now with my left leg. So I'm stepping back into a high crescent, trying to just get everything where it needs to be. And once I'm satisfied here from that hip, I'm going to turn out 45-ish degrees. My front knee is going to bend towards the pinky toe. Front hip's going to come back. Tailbone really wants to come out, stay. I'm going to let that tailbone be a little heavy, taking the chest to the side and reach. So warrior two, when done right, is a twist. And twisting through that thoracic spine. Breathing, relaxing through the shoulders. Strong feet, strong legs. Inhale, exhale, we'll cartwheel that down. I'm going to swivel up that back foot. Again, I'm going to bring my block in here. I'm going to find a place of length from a place of ease. Strong through that back leg. Good. From here, with or without your block, your left hand's going to come down. Good. Finding and keeping that length, opening to the right. Good. I forgot to say this on the other side, but your front knee here should be in alignment with that front hip, and the entire foot should be on the floor. So I see sometimes in classes where people roll over to the side of that leg. Try not to do that. Good. And then from here, we'll take that down. Good. I'm going to bring my block forward, plant the hand, front foot steps back, take or skip a flow. Skip this flow this time. From the down dog, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, pressing through the feet and the leg. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs to rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain, and temple. I'm going to go back to the other side. We're going to do a step back here. This is going to be a more traditional pyramid stance, a revolved triangle, and a revolved half moon. So I'm going to have my block a little bit forward and to the left of my left foot. I'm going to step back with the right foot. So you don't want to step back like you would if you were going to go into a high crescent or warrior two. You want to step back about halfway. Some of you, depending on what you've got going on in your body, are going to be parallel railroad tracks here. So hip, knees, and toes, both legs, both feet face forward. If you're okay with a little bit of rotation, then a little bit of rotation from that back hip. Hip, knee, and toe are going to track out here. Good. Front hip is going to come back. Let that front knee be a little bit soft. Good. Zipping up the front body. Good. I'm going to reach my arms forward today, but you can take them anywhere you need to take them, including a block. Okay. So I'm just going to really root my feet in like I'm trying to rip that mat apart. Good. And then I'm going to lengthen, 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 lengthen from the hips. And I'm lengthening here. Good. The front hip is back. And I'm pressing into both legs. Breathe. Good. Now, revolve triangle. There's a couple things you can do. You can take a block or a hand on the inside of the foot. You're going to twist to the left. Or if you're okay with a deeper twist, you can take a blocker to the hand on the outside of the left foot. Again, remember, we want to twist from length. Find your length. Good. And then from here, finding the twist. Left hip back, right hip comes forward. Good. That top hand can always come to the hip if needed. Good. Now from here, I'm going to unravel for a moment. Good. I'm going to take my right hand on my block. I'm going to take my block forward now. I'm on the right side, putting a bend in that left knee as I lift that back leg. My right toe, right knee, and right hip are facing the floor. This could be where you go as some kind of a modified warrior 3, or you can rotate again to the left. Here's your evolved half move. Good. Press out of the left leg, reach through the right if you can. And then we'll take that down. Back leg's gonna come up to meet the front. Do a little bendy here. Shake the head yes. Shake the head no. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Legs take the load as we rise. Exhale. Hands to heart center. Good. Let's do that all to the other side. So the block at the ready. We're going to start it off on the right side this time, just in case we need it. That'll be the first place we need it. I'm going to step the left leg back now, about halfway from where I would go if I was coming into crescent or a warrior 2. Again, if you did parallel railroad tracks on the other side, you'll want to do that same thing here. I'm going to rotate out. Front hip's going to come back. Back hip's going to come forward. Root your feet into the mat like you're trying to rip it apart from one end to the other. Zipping up nice and tight. I'm going to take my arms long. Good. I'm going to lengthen. My front knee is nice and soft. I'm going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. I'm reaching and lengthening from the hips. Good. Maybe we stay here. Maybe hands come down on something. Breathe. Breathe. Good. From here, I'm going to take my hand down to my block. So again, for evolved triangle, hand or block might be on the inside. As you twist to the right, it might be on the outside. It's going to be the left hand on the outside or left hand on the inside because you're going to twist to the right and your right arm is going to come up. So right hip's going to come back here. Stay with breath and clench the jaw, relax the face. Good, that's revolved triangle. I'm going to unravel for a moment. I'm going to take the block into my left hand. I'm going to take it forward here on my left side. I'm going to put a bend in the left or right knee. I'm going to lift up. Good. Now, again, this might be where you stay, or maybe you rotate again to the right, finding your evolved half move. Pressing out of the right leg, reaching with the left. Staying with the breath. Try to breathe in and out through the nose. I just caught myself trying to breathe out through the mouth. And then when ready, we'll unravel. Back foot comes up to meet the front foot. A little bend in those knees. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll fold. Pressing through the feet and the legs, we'll rise all the way up here. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to take a flow down to the floor and stay down to the floor. Big inhale and reach. Exhale and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs to lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll hold. Bending the hands. Step or hop back to plank. You choose take or skip the last flow of this class. Once you've made it back to your down dog, you can drop those knees or find a juicy child's pose. Knees can be together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. You walking the fingertips a little bit more forward. Maybe they need to come back towards the ankles. Find yours. Find breath. And let the belly go here. When you're ready, knowing you can stay here as long as you'd like, taking hands under the shoulders, we'll come back up and we'll have seat. Good. Now, from here, we're going to go into a boat pose. And I'm going to give you the several options if you want to take this into a twisty boat pose. Another way of saying that is like a Russian twist. So if you're going to keep your feet grounded, you can take your hands in prayer. You're going to lean back. We want a nice long back here, and you can twist this way. Okay, that's going to be easier. You want a little bit more connection. You can press into a block. You can also take a block between the legs and between the hands for even more connection, if that's where you want to work. With or without your block, you can come back and take a lift. So I'm going to use both of my blocks. Woo, good. And coming here. Belly button in nice and tight. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Reach and take it down. Removing the block. Taking the legs forward. Legs together or a little bit wider. Inhale. Exhale, lean forward. And then round. Breathe and expand into that back body. Relaxing through the face. Unclenching that jaw. And then we'll gently come back up. Let's take this into a seated twist. So I'm going to face this way. I'm going to take my right leg forward and left leg in. This leg can be here or you can cross it over. You choose. So this is my left leg. This is my right leg. I'm going to zip up nice and tall. Finding that length, I'm going to twist to the left. Left hand on the floor to a block. Roll the shoulders down and back. Breathe and expand. A little bit more. Maybe that right arm can come on the inside of here, as long as it doesn't cause a cranking of the back. Coming back to center. We'll take that to the other side. Again, arm can come in, back hand can come down, rolling down and back. Notice how it feels slightly different from one side to the other. And gently coming back to center. We'll repeat that on the other side. Left leg long now. Right foot can come in here, or it can cross over. Find your length. Good. Right leg is on top, left leg is long. Good. I'm going to take that up, finding the length, finding the twist. Arm can come on the inside here if that's where you are. And ready, we'll unravel. We'll take that to the other side. You can hold on, or you can come on the inside. Find the length. And we'll unravel and come back to center. Good. Let's come onto our back here. And I'm going to have my blanket close. I'm not going to use it just yet. Once you come back here, adjust any clothing if you need to do that. Good. I'm going to bring one knee at a time into my chest. And I'm just going to do a little rock. Good. From here, we're going to go into what I call a freestyle bridge. Freestyle bridge, that means any bridge of your choice that's already in your practice. I'm going to take my feet down to the floor. Hips, knees, and toes are tracking. Any bridge you choose, you want hip, knees, and toes tracking forward. You don't take the legs out wider. We don't turn the legs out in order to make something happen. So be mindful. Good. I'm going to roll my shoulders down and back. As I press into my feet, I'm also going to press into my hands, arms, and shoulders as I lift my hips straight up. I'm lifting up through the chest so I can come up just a little bit higher. Head is centered. Don't turn it right or left. If you feel yourself pushing backwards, take your knees a little bit more forward. That'll make the hamstrings do what they're supposed to do here. And then when ready, we'll gently lower down. And then take the knees back into the chest and rock. Good. So we're going to take this into some dynamic twisting movements here. Knees in tabletop. Get arms straight out to the side. Inhale, exhale. We're going to come over to the right. We're going to hover. Exhale, come back center. Inhale, exhale to the left to hover. And then we'll come back to center. That might be challenging enough for you. If you want a little bit more challenge, you'll try this next one. We're going to come over to the right and hover. Maybe reaching the legs long. You're increasing that lever. Bend the knee and come back in. To the left. Choose to hover or extend. And bend the knee and come back. That might be enough of a challenge for some of you. More still, it's going to be pendulum. We're going to take the legs up. Watch your toes. You want to keep the toes even here. As you take the legs over to the left, hover, coming back up. And over to the right. Hover, and coming back up. From center, we'll go back to tabletop. We're going to let those knees come all the way over to the right, looking to the left. Left arm on the floor. Breathing and expand. And the last twist, last pose here before Shavasana. Head back to center, one leg at a time, or use your abdominals to bring you there. When ready, we'll take those knees over to the other side. Looking to the opposite side. Breathing. Head back to center. One leg at a time back in, or use those abs to bring them both back in. Last time, reach behind, tug. And then let's find a figure 4 here real quick. So I'm going to cross my right ankle over my left knee. This might be where you are. You might bring it in. You might thread it through. Upper body's grounded. Find yours. Let's get a little hip opener here. Our hip works hard. Support us in some of those balancing challenges and some of the standing twists. And then we'll release. Switching sides. And finding yours. You can be here. You can bring it all into the chest or thread it through. Upper body on the floor. And when ready, get a release. I'm going to bring my folded blanket in. I'm going to use it as a little neck pillow here. Good. And then find how you need to be for your Shavasana, that integration, that calmness, the essence of your yoga practice. I like a bent knee here. That's what my back likes, but you can certainly do a nice long posture. You can stick a pillow or something under there. If you're really sensitive in the backside, side lying or being on your belly could potentially be an option for you. See where you need to be and breathe and expand. Taking some deeper breaths, choosing stillness, or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choosing stillness can bring your knees into the chest, or maybe moving any props out of the way if you used any, and finding a full body stretch instead. And when ready, bending in both knees, rolling over to the right or left side, the side that's best for you in this moment. Taking all the time that you need, and when you're ready, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat where we started our practice today. Taking a moment here to notice how you feel. Palms turning up, reaching all the way up, touching the palms together as we bring the hands down. I'll stop the thumbs at the forehead for good and true thoughts, to the lips for good and kind words, and to the hearts for open and loving hearts. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe, may you stay well, may you have a wonderful day, evening, week, month, season ahead. Namaste.